simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine parties.
My bitch a choosy lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in
This device will save your life, and I think that every home should have one of these. Not only every home.
drive a compressor, top notch hoes get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the buck for $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross country, giving all that she got. 1,000 a pop, I'm pulling business off the lot. I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine parties.
Baby, you been rolling solo, time to get down with the team. The grass is greener on that other side, if you know what I mean. I show you shit you never seen, the 7 wonders of the world. And I can make you the 8th if you wanna be my girl. I say my girl, I don't mean my woman, that ain't my style. Need a real street stalker, to walk a green mile. Piling up the paper on the dining room table, cause you able to realize I'm the truth and not a fable. Baby, rockin' Russian sable, keep that chiller on the rack. What I look like with some $1,000 shit up on my back. I'm $1 million man, they need $1 billion bitch. Put my pimpin' in your life, watch your daddy get rich. Easy as ABC, simple as 1, 2, 3. Get down with UGK, Pimp CBU with B. Cause what's a hoe with no pimp, and what's a pimp with no hoe? Don't be a lame, you know the game and how it goes. We try to get chose.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine parties.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. Happy Friday to all of you. Today we are gonna, how many of us, myself included, I completely forgot about Blandino, and I completely forgot that he had a trial this year. It kept on getting continued, just like Chili's stuff keeps getting continued. Well, yesterday, the premiere of at least the first part, or the first day of his traffic trial was held. And so thanks to the fine folks at Our Nevada Judges for the coverage. We might even get Alex to come in for a bit and tell us about the experience in a few minutes, but let's get right into it. I heard it was fairly run-of-the-mill, only one alleged outburst, but we'll see what happens, because I saw a little bit of the premiere, but it was like 45 minutes into the trial, so I really didn't get much. I think it was right around when somebody, one of the officers, was getting sworn in. So let's hear it and move it into the main. All right.
Yeah, would you let me? The judge is talking. I'm sorry, Your Honor. My client is asking.
Oh no.
State of Nevada versus Kim
not a new
Dennis
trial.
Blandino, 22 CR 041030. This is time set for the trial on this matter. State.
Mike Dickerson on behalf of the state, Your Honor, part number 13476.
Defense.
Joseph Gerson, 13876, Your Honor, with Mr. Kim Blandino at liberty to my left.
Anything you
I'm
need to
not at
address?
liberty, I'm in custody on probation, Judge. That's the correction.
All right.
I don't know what I'm here doing here, Your Honor.
All right. There'll be no more outbursts unless you ask a direct question. Anything you need to address before we proceed, Mr. Dickerson?
The only thing that I would say is that it's possible that we may need to take some portion of this into another day.
What's that? Mr. Gerson?
Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's he is risen. It's on his the back of his jacket. I'm pretty sure we've seen that before.
After discussions with my client, he would object to that only because your order at the last hearing was we are going forward, that's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. We're here, we're ready to go forward.
Let's cross that bridge when we get to it. We'll see what's going on.
I don't think that
We're starting the trial. I'll figure out if we need additional, why we need additional. That. Anything further, Mr. Gersten? Mr. Gersten?
Your Honor, if I may, just based on the last hearing, you had asked, you had mentioned, you had denied Mr. Blandino's renewed motion for removal of forest council and a property law, et cetera, to prepare a written order. If I may approach.
I'll review that order. The court did note that the reasons being is there was a district court order that specifically precluded Mr. Blandino from representing himself in district court in Clark County, and based on that order, the Superior Court, I followed that based on that. That was an order that was also provided by Mr. Dickerson, order granting petition to Raymond Davis.
Oh my God, he has a Trump T-shirt. Wait, what did it say? It said Trump now. Trump now, Jesus forever. God.
Provided by Mr. Dickerson, order granting petition to Raymond Davis.
And for the court's application as well, the Court of Appeals recently came down and affirmed all that ruling.
And so based on that, because it was a Superior Court, the court followed that ruling.
And just for the court's edification, Your Honor, there is currently pending a request for a petition for rehearing in that particular case. So that decision is not technically final, just for the court's
All right,
information.
anything further before we proceed? State, defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, anybody who's a witness or potential witness on the Blandino matter, please wait outside and do not discuss your testimony with any other witnesses, except for the first witness we're going to call, but have them wait outside for a minute. State, you wish to make an opening statement?
Oh, he shaved.
Defense,
Wow.
this time, do you wish to make an opening statement, or do you wish to reserve?
I would like to reserve, Your Honor.
All right, reserved opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State, your first witness shall be
We're going to call Vance Neeson.
Vance Neeson. All right, sir, come take the stand. What's on the stand, remain standing. Raise your right hand, face the clerk to be sworn.
Oh my God. Freaking ad. Damn it, YouTube. What we got?
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
It's like you can hear Kirsten just telling him to constantly shut up. I mean, I don't know what. Yeah.
Please have a seat.
What else can you do?
Spell your first and last name for the record.
Vance Neeson, first name V-A-N-C-E.
I ran out of premium on this. I had a look. All right, look. I had a free 3 months of premium on this channel, on my ACF channel, and then it ran out. I only have premium on my personal account. So yeah.
Proceed with the examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, what do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer with the Las Vegas Metro.
What's up,
How
Royson?
long have you been employed in that capacity?
Approximately 3 years.
Were you working on September 16, 2022?
I was.
In that same capacity as a police officer?
Yes, sir.
And on that particular day, were you operating in capacity as a patrol officer with a partner by the name of Officer Martinez?
Yes, sir.
Around 7:46 p.m., were you in the area of Bruce and Bonanza here in Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada?
Yes, I was.
And in that area, what, if anything, occurred?
At that time, while we were going eastbound on Bonanza, we observed in westbound traffic at the intersection a white pickup truck with its emergency lights on, and a male subject was outside of that vehicle, which I believe the driver door was ajar, and it appeared he was at a vehicle in front of him. I can't recall which vehicle specifically, but the vehicle appeared to be parked in that intersection.
And the male that you saw outside of the vehicle, do you see him here in the courtroom today?
I do.
If you could please point to him, identify a piece of clothing.
Point. Haha! It was you.
The individual that you're pointing to that stood up while you were pointing to him?
Yes, sir.
If the record could reflect that the witnesses identified the defendant, Kim Blandino.
Good shot.
Thank you. And so, if I have this right, Mr. Blandino was standing outside in the intersection next to another vehicle?
So not directly in the intersection, to the west of the intersection, but yes, standing outside of his vehicle and, if I can recall, at the driver door of that vehicle that was in front of him.
Okay. His vehicle was that white pickup truck,
Correct.
and you said the door was open to that truck?
Yes.
And that truck was stopped and parked in a travel?
Correct.
And so what, if anything, did you do at that point in time?
We proceeded eastbound, and then at some point we made a U-turn and proceeded to try to get closer to see what was going on, because that didn't appear to be normal. And we noticed the truck going south, making the southbound turn on Bruce Street, and we conducted a vehicle stop because it was unlawfully parked.
And this was that same truck that you saw Mr. Blandino associated with at the intersection?
Yes.
That was a Dodge Ram bearing Montana license plate?
Yes.
And was that license plate 15247E?
Your Honor, and I apologize. I'm going to object only that Mr. Dickerson has been asking many, many leading questions. And I know we're just trying to
Let's
get through it.
Let's keep it simple. He objects, leading, okay, let me rephrase, thank you.
Well, that's usually my decision to whether it's not leading.
True.
Granted, as to leading, ask him if he remembers. If he doesn't, we go from there.
Okay, thank you. Do you remember his license plate?
I remember it being a Montana plate, not the,
Okay.
not the business.
No problem. And so from that point in time.
It was a leading
you guys
question,
ended up,
though.
Actually stopping the vehicle.
Yes,
And does Mr. Blandino pull the vehicle over?
he does.
So the vehicle was in operation on the road at the time that you initiated the traffic stop?
Correct.
And so it wasn't disabled?
No.
All right. Mr. Blandino pulls over, you make contact with Mr. Blandino at the vehicle?
My partner, Officer Martinez, was making verbal contact while I approached the passenger side for cover and officer safety.
Okay. So Officer Martinez was the officer primarily contact?
Contact officer, yes.
All right. From your position on the passenger side, what, if anything, did you see?
Something that stood out to me was the ignition appeared to be tampered with.
Okay.
Can't remember exactly how it was tampered with. I believe there was a screwdriver either inside or next to it, which is indicative of possibly a stolen vehicle.
Okay. And so from that point in time, was Mr. Blandino, did he make any statements about that in particular?
I think once Officer Martinez had a break in her conversation with him during the initial contact, I had made a comment about it, and Mr. Blandino was demonstrating how he uses that screwdriver to turn it on due to it being, the ignition was damaged.
Okay. And so his indication was that he regularly uses the screwdriver to turn it on?
Correct.
Okay. And did you have an opportunity to see whether Mr. Blandino provided a driver's license to Officer Martinez or yourself?
I recall him attempting to provide some sort of driver's license to Officer Martinez. It was hard to hear the exact words they were using, but I do recall him attempting to provide some sort of identification, yes.
Okay. And later on, ultimately, there's some items that are impounded from the vehicle and seized, is that right?
Yes,
And did you have an opportunity to take photographs of those items?
I did.
Okay. If I may, Your Honor, I have my hand here. States proposed exhibits 2, 3, and 4.
You have a chance to review those, Mr. Gersten?
I'm doing so right now, Your Honor.
All right. You had a chance to review them previously, I'm assuming.
Very
Thank you.
run of the mill.
You reviewed those previously, correct?
But now here are the identifying documents that he presented to the cops,
May I approach, Your
You
Honor?
may approach.
Thank you.
whatever the heck they are.
So I'm showing you State's proposed exhibit 2. Can you have a look through that?
So Dickerson grew out a beard and Blandino shaved his. Interesting.
Do you recognize what is depicted here in State's Proposed Exhibit 2?
I do.
And it's multiple pages, is that right?
Yeah.
This is fairly inaccurately depicting photographs you took of the items that were seized from Mr. Blandino's vehicle.
Yes, it does.
Showing you State's Proposed Exhibit 3, do you recognize, or can you take a look at that? Do you recognize what's depicted in State's Proposed Exhibit 3?
Yes.
And does what's depicted there fairly and accurately represent photographs you took of an item seized from Mr. Blandino's vehicle?
Yes, it does.
And showing you State's Proposed Exhibit 4, do you recognize that?
All of these cover his identifying documents, his
Okay.
Kingdom of Israel passport,
And,
etc., etc.
All these items were seized from the front passenger side of the front compartment of that vehicle by detectives?
I can't recall exactly where in the vehicle it was recovered, but yes, it was recovered from it.
The substance of the documents that you reviewed and that you photographed, is it fair to say that they indicate something to the effect of a driver's license?
Those documents, no.
Well, they are not actual driver's licenses, right?
Correct.
But there's, are there items in there or things in there that indicate that they could attempted to be used as a driver's license?
Objection,
Yes.
speculation.
Counsel, state.
Not speculation, Your Honor. It's based upon his review of the documents and the items there. And in fact, I'll just move for the admission of State's Proposed 2, 3,
But the
and 4.
issue, the question is whether or not they could be proposed to be used as.
Yes.
And for him to say they could be, it's one thing that he can say, they look like documents that could be considered that. That's one thing, I'd accept that. But there's been no allegations that it's been proposed as a driver's license.
Well, can I make an offer of proof?
Go ahead.
So, State Proposed Exhibit 4 is certified records that Mr. Blandino had with him with these documents. A citation, a complaint for an unlicensed driver that was filed in the municipal court of Boulder City some years ago, in fact, 1998. In these documents, it actually shows the same documents that Mr. Blandino was using here that are State Proposed Exhibits 3 and 2, where in fact it was used as a driver's license. And so thus,
Oh
the
no.
ability for this officer to clean that information is clear from looking at these documents.
Well, I'm not sure that's what the testimony was, Your Honor. The question was, could these be used as such and such and such? And he's not qualified, that's an expert opinion, he never gave any testimony about that's what the case is. So I renew my objection as.
As to the testimony itself, I grant the objection. Thank you, Your Honor, I'll sustain the objection. As to whether or not they're admissible, there's something different. It's found within there, they can make a determination and argument based on that. So admissions of them may be different than his determination of what they are.
Yeah, I mean, Your Honor, I don't want to do Mr. Dickerson's job for him, but if he wants to admit these.
Will you stop with the nonsense?
What?
Ooh. Oh, okay, wow. Okay, Dickerson being a bit spicy now. Damn.
Sorry.
His determination of what they are.
Yeah, I mean, Your Honor, I don't want to do Mr. Dickerson's job for him, but if he wants to admit these.
Will you stop with the
Oh, well, okay, that's why. Okay, so Kirsten did put in a snarky comment, and so that's why Dickerson snapped back. So yeah, okay, that's fair. I thought Dickerson flew off the handle for no reason, but yeah, Kirsten did make an underhanded comment there. But Dickerson does still need to calm down. Gerson needs to cool it, but so does Dickerson.
nonsense?
What?
Just make a clear objection.
Sorry, Aaron, okay.
All right, so as to his statement of what it could be used for is one thing. What he observes and believes it could be is his determination based on his information.
Sure.
I'll allow that in for that, because there's no allegation that it was an attempt to be used at this point. So, as to the, are you moving into evidence at this point?
Yes.
Exhibits 2, 3, and 4, Mr. Gersten?
No objection.
Objection, exhibits 2, 3, and 4 shall be admitted at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. So, sir, I have in my hand State's Exhibit 4. I'm going to bring this up to you. Where was this item located?
I don't recall which of those booklets it was located in, but it was certainly located in one of those booklets in the back of it. And I know that for a fact because the folds on this paper, it's folded up to fit one of those booklets.
Okay. And State's Exhibit 2 is one of those booklets you're referring to?
Yes,
And State's Exhibit 3 is the other booklet you're referring to?
correct.
Fair to say they appear very similar in their contents?
Yes.
Okay. Moving to State's Exhibit 2, going to the second page of this exhibit, what does it say here?
Elohim's King of Israel diplomatic passport.
There it is.
And then moving to the fourth page of this exhibit, what do you see on this page?
It would be Mr. Blandino's full name, it appears to be his signature. Underneath that it says signature of bearer, and then it appears to be his photograph.
Okay. On the other page, is there a section here in the middle that indicates driver's license permit?
It does say that, but I don't see anything else that indicates that would be it.
Okay. In looking at this, based upon your training experience, is this a valid driver's license?
No.
Okay. Going to State's proposed exhibit, or State's Exhibit 3, is this the other booklet you were talking about?
Yes, sir.
All right. Going to the second page of this exhibit, what does it say at the top there?
Elohim's King of Israel diplomatic passport.
All right. Going here to the third page of this exhibit, what does this show here?
It shows Mr. Blandino's full name, his signature, and underneath it, his signature of bearer, as well as his photograph.
Okay, and on the other page on the right, does it also show a driver's license area?
It does say that, yes.
All right. Is this
Okay.
document here, everything contained in this booklet, is this a valid driver's license?
No.
Okay, and then we go back to State's Exhibit 4. This item, what does this depict?
This would depict a criminal
Hey, Amanda.
complaint for Mr. Blandino, municipal court of oversight.
Okay, and is it dated there?
Okay, so I think what Dickerson is trying to present is that in a previous occasion, Blandino has tried to present his Kingdom of Israel passport as though it were a valid driver's license, which I think he's trying to establish the fraud. I think it's the fraud element or fraudulent instrument element of what he's being charged with. Because if you go back to the first hearings, Gersten was trying to argue that, he was never trying to present these as though they were driver's licenses. They're obviously not, and therefore you can't convict him on fraud because anybody knows that this isn't a real document that anybody can take seriously, or something like that, or something to that effect.
Yes, 3rd of July, 1998.
Okay. Here we go to the third page of this exhibit. What does this show here?
Well, I can't say which booklet exactly, but it appears to be one of those booklets that has been opened to the, I believe that's the 3rd and 4th page, and scanned.
Okay. Does it appear to have writing up top?
Yes, it's
What does that say?
August 10th, 1998, 12:35 p.m., Office Depot.
Okay, and a phone number?
702-434-3555.
Office
Is that
Depot.
consistent with the
Nice.
facts?
Yes.
All right. And what we're seeing there that has been scanned and faxed, does that appear to be the same page that you were looking at there on both of the last two exhibits, 3 and 2, that depicted his photograph on the one page with his name and then the driver's license section on the other page?
Yes.
All right. Going to the next page, this is a photograph of the back of that page,
Yes, it is.
indicating a certification by the court.
Yes.
He doesn't recognize his name yet. He'll get there.
Are you hungry? She's twirling. Are you hungry?
Oh, screw this. I'm switching to my other account. Hang on.
I can't.
One second.
I can't recall.
Okay. Here we go to the third page of this exhibit. What does this show here?
Well, I can't say which booklet exactly, but it appears to be one of those booklets that has been opened to the, I believe that's the third and fourth page, and scanned.
Okay. Does it appear to have writing up top?
Yes, it's
What does that say?
August 10th, 1998, 12:35 p.m., Office Depot,
Okay, and a phone number?
702-424-3555.
Is that consistent with the facts?
Yes.
All right. And what we're seeing there that has been scanned and faxed, does that appear to be the same page that you were looking at there on both of the last two exhibits, 3 and 2, that depicted his photograph on the one page with his name and then the driver's license section on the other page?
Yes.
All right. Going to the next page, this is a photograph of the back of that page,
Yes, it is.
indicating a certification by the court.
Yes.
Premium is worth
And then here
every bit of it.
on this, on the fifth page here, what do we see?
And now that YouTube is throttling people who have ad blockers, yeah,
This appears to be the resolution of this case.
YouTube
Okay.
is now cracking
It
down
says
on
down
ad
here.
blockers by throttling
Can you read what that says?
their bandwidth.
Yeah.
Defendant agrees to plead no contest to charge and pay fine of $25 plus $15 plus $10.
And then under that, does it say?
I'm gonna object, Your Honor, what
I have a
relevance?
question
Relevance.
regarding this, though, because he said it was a disposition of this case.
No, of the Boulder City case.
That's what he said, though, of this case.
Of
Oh,
this
I
case
apologize.
yeah, so,
It's
so when
referring
you
to
say
the
this
Boulder
case,
City.
Correct.
Okay, okay.
this is a Boulder
Hold on.
City.
Now, the objection?
Relevance, Your Honor, I don't understand, what does a case from 20 some odd years ago have to do with what we're doing today?
Mr. Dickerson, you wish to add?
Yeah, defense counsel went all
Just-
in.
just-
So,
Easy.
sir,
Yep, Dickerson, chill. Just respond, okay?
Your Honor, my response to that objection would be that this actually goes to show that the defendant provided these documents as a driver's license in that case, which is going to be further referenced in this case as well.
Well,
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I have to object. There were charges in this case about false identification. Those were dropped.
Yes.
So now we're getting to double jeopardy issues because this case has started and
What we're looking at, though, is this. I'm assuming in Boulder City had something to do with driving without a valid license, correct?
That's right.
No source of knowledge of the defendant at the time of this matter, having prior knowledge. Now, do you
Okay, so so I guess I completely forgot about that they dropped those charges. So okay, so I guess Gearston is making a better point there. by trying to bring up the previous case, because all of the lines of questioning the entire line of questioning sounded to me like he was trying to bring in the false instruments or the false documents, but those charges were dropped.
Reason is the only reason. I'm not taking into account for anything else, for any purpose, other than prior knowledge of a driver without a valid license. All right?
Okay, I'm not, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I do, I'm
assuming that's what Mr. Dickerson wants to bring it in for that purpose, whether it's relevant or not. I mean, there's some relevancy as to the knowledge that Mr.
Well, my confusion, Your Honor, is again, that they accepted that document as a license 20 some odd years ago. It just seems antithetical to Mr. Dickerson's case, so that's why I'm trying to follow where he's going with this. I just don't get it.
It's his case.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's what it's coming in for. That's what the representation that it's coming in for says.
Okay. And may I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
And what does the next portion say?
If defendant, I can't read that, copy of driver's license to municipal court by I think the brings.
Yeah, I don't know why Gearson said there's the double jeopardy issue.
By 3 p.m.
If the charges were dropped long before
City
trial.
agrees to dismiss, otherwise set for trial on October 22nd, 1998 at 10 a.m.
Okay. And this was included with his documents that had driver's license for nothing again. Yeah. All right. State pass the witness.
Cross-examination, Mr. Gersten.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Easton, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You ever met Mr. Blandino before?
Prior to this?
Prior to the incident where you...
No, sir.
Okay. And if I understood correctly, the totality of what you were responsible for at that matter was you took some pictures of the exhibits, correct?
You're speaking for the evidence that
I'm sorry, exhibits, was it 1, 2, 3, 4? 2, 3, 4. Exhibits 2, 3, 4. Those are photographs that you took.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to do with this case?
Yeah, I was on the traffic stop on the 16th of September, 2022.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you were on the traffic stop. Other than, I mean, you were there for officer safety, I believe you said. Officer Martinez was doing whatever she was doing, and then you were on the other side of the truck for officer safety, correct?
I wouldn't say specifically just for officer safety, no.
I'm just going by what you testified. You said you were there for officer safety. Did I
That's
mishear you?
my location where I was at the stop was for the purpose of officer safety.
Okay. And then eventually, as part of this case, you took some pictures.
Okay, yeah.
Later, yeah.
Right, okay. Was there anything else that you had to do with this case, other than those things we just talked about?
Mr. Blandino was removed from his motor vehicle
Mhm.
and placed in front of a patrol vehicle and further detained. So I was part of that, yeah.
Okay, but nothing else other than that. I mean, I'm just trying to get an idea of what your participation was in this case.
Well, I assisted Officer Martinez in discussing probable cause and
Okay.
reasonable suspicion at a certain point, yeah.
Was the registration on Mr. Blandino's vehicle bad?
It was, I don't recall.
All right, it was from Montana, right?
Correct.
But you didn't find anything wrong with its currency or anything of that nature, correct?
I don't believe so.
Okay, nothing further on.
Mr. Dickerson.
No, Your Honor, nothing further.
Before you leave, Officer Leeson, you saw Mr. Blandino driving.
Yes.
I don't understand what that was all about with Kirsten. I guess he's trying to say that he has no, other than taking the pictures, he has no real involvement in the actual traffic stop. I guess the bigger witness is going to be Officer Martinez, but
A white vehicle, a white truck on the highway, which the public has access to.
Yes.
He was pulled over.
Mhm.
You pulled him over.
Yes. Yes.
Did you ask him for a driver's license?
I did not.
Did your partner ask you for a driver's license?
Yes.
Was the driver's license produced?
I don't recall.
Okay. Any follow-ups based on that, Mr. Davis?
No, Your Honor.
Any follow-ups based on that, Mr. Gersten?
No, Your Honor.
All right. This witness free to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can I release him off his subpoena, or do you need to just have him stick around?
I think you can release it.
Sir, your release off your subpoena, you do not need to stick around here anymore if you so desire.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Dixon.
Free to go. Woo!
2, 3, and 4. Can you bring
But
them
if
up?
he's free to
Yes,
go, he's free to
rest.
stay.
We're going to use those.
I'll use them briefly, but thank you, that's
Just make sure that we have it here. All right, what was her name?
Cynthia Martinez.
Cynthia Martinez. Now, come take the stand. It's on the stand. Remain standing. Raise your right hand. Face the clerk to be sworn. You can come on up. Face the clerk. Raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please have a seat. State and spell your first and last name for the record.
My first name is Cynthia, that's Cynthia, last name Martinez, Martinez.
May I
State,
proceed?
you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. What do you do for a living, ma'am?
I'm a police officer for LVMPD,
And how long have you been employed as a police officer?
4 years.
Were you working in your capacity as a police officer on September 16, 2022?
Yes,
And on that day, were you paired up with another officer as your partner that day, Officer Neeson?
yes,
Around approximately 7:46 p.m., were you in the area of Bruce and Bonanza here in Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada?
yes.
There in that area, what if anything occurred?
So my partner and I were driving in our police car going eastbound on Bonanza and Bruce. We observed a white Dodge Ram pickup truck in a westbound lane, so facing west. The driver was outside of the truck waving his arms next to the vehicle next to that truck that was also in a westbound lane.
All right, so that white truck was parked in a travel lane?
Correct.
Okay. And the individual who was outside of the vehicle waving his arms, do you see that individual here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
If you could please point to that individual, identify a piece of clothing that they're wearing.
Point at him.
The monitor is
There he is.
wearing a suit.
Okay. Can you point to him?
Oh my God, Sean.
Your Honor, if the record could reflect the identification of defendant Kim Blandino.
No.
Thank you. And what did you do at that point in time?
We conducted a vehicle stop.
And how is it that you conducted the vehicle stop? Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so we turned back around and conducted a vehicle stop where a stop and park were prohibited.
Okay. And by that point in time, when you get back behind Mr. Blandino's vehicle, is he already in the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay.
So while we were going eastbound, coming down, he saw us and he jumped back into his truck and
Okay.
continued westbound.
And so he began driving?
Correct.
All right. And so upon conducting the
Hold
stop,
on a second. If you can speak up a little so we can hear you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
how far away from the area of Bruce and Bonanza was it that you conducted the vehicle stop?
Not far. I can't recall the exact street. I know I wrote it on the narrative.
All right, no worries. It wasn't far from there.
No.
And by the time that you conduct the stop, you're stopping his moving vehicle, Mr. Blandino's vehicle.
Correct.
And he in fact pulls over,
Yes.
and you make contact with Mr. Blandino.
Correct.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Well played, our Nevada judges, on your cheekiness, because I see on your video you have two tagged products on your video, on this video. One is an ascot and the other is Black's Law Dictionary. Well played. Well played, our Nevada judges.
Is he in the driver's seat of that vehicle?
Yes.
So he's the one that's operating that truck.
Yes.
And is he the only occupant of that vehicle?
Yes.
Well, there at driver's side door, is it?
Yes,
Talking to Mr. Blandino, do you ask him for a driver's license?
I do.
And what, if anything, does he provide you?
He provided me with an Arizona identification card.
Was that a valid driver's license?
No,
Okay. Did Mr. Blandino indicate to you whether he had a driver's license?
I asked him if he had a driver's license because he gave me an Arizona identification card. He stated he had an international driver's license.
Okay, and were you aware of whether an international driver's license or anything called that would be a valid license under your understanding?
I'm sorry.
Did you believe that he had a valid license based upon telling you that he had an international driver's license?
No.
Okay. Did he make any attempts to?
I mean, it's entirely. I mean, international driver's licenses are a thing. I would imagine if you're like a trucker and you go across the Mexican or Canadian border, you probably have one. So it's not like they're unheard of, and they can be valid, but I mean, not every officer is going to know that though.
Give you anything?
Yes, he attempted to hand me a document and said it was an international driver's license.
Okay.
Exhibits to
Okay, so he did say that it was an international driver's license. Interesting. He doesn't like me though. He doesn't like being held. What? Mike. What? And he's gone.
Thank you.
2, 3, and 4 up here.
I have here State's Exhibits 2 and 3. Do you recognize those at all?
Can I go through?
Sure,
Why?
you can go through them, but do you recognize the?
Yes,
Okay. And both of these look similar, is that right? Do these appear to be the items or one of the items that Mr. Blandino was trying to provide you?
one of them, it was like a leather kind of material.
Okay, so one of these two items, can't say for sure which one?
Yes,
Okay. And what area was it that Mr. Blandino was gathering that item from before trying to give it to you?
I can't recall.
Okay. Ultimately, were you able to do a records check on Mr. Blandino's driver's license?
Yes,
And did you find that he had a valid driver's license?
no,
Okay. And further, the vehicle that Mr. Blandino
What's the Sathea, what's the USMCA?
was driving, was that vehicle registered in Nevada?
no, it had Montana.
Do you remember the exact license plate as you sit here today?
Off the top of my head, no.
Okay, would that have been something that you wrote in the declaration of arrest?
Yes,
Would looking at that help refresh your recollection?
yes.
Please go ahead, just take a look at that. Helps your recollection refresh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And what was the driver's,
Go on.
what was the license plate there?
It's Montana plate 152467.
Mike,
E as in easy.
Okay.
are you being a pit back?
That particular license plate, do you recall whether it was valid?
My understanding is that the plates were from Montana. The plates were from Montana. I don't know if he actually bought it in Montana.
I believe it was valid.
Okay. but just not a Nevada license plate.
That's correct.
And the vehicle was not registered in Nevada anyway.
Oh,
Correct.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
All right, state of pass witness.
Cross-examination, Mr. Gerson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hey, Officer Martinez, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. Last time we spoke, you mentioned that you had said that Mr., like you did today, that Mr. Blandino provided you an Arizona ID, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then he offered you his international driver's license, correct?
That's correct.
And if I remember correctly, the last time we spoke, you had said once you heard that, you told him to forget it because in your head, that wasn't going to be a valid driver's license, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you never actually saw at the stop when you asked him for the driver's license, you never actually saw his international driver's license or the documents that Mr. Dickerson just showed you, correct?
I saw it in his hands.
Okay, but you never actually looked at it?
I didn't grab it.
Okay. He offered it to you and you didn't take it, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then just to make sure, the plate, the Montana plate we just talked about, you ran that plate through NLETS or whatever it was, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and it came back as valid registration and plates, correct?
Correct.
A Montana permanent license, Montana permanent registration, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Redirect, Mr. Gerson.
No, nothing on that, Your Honor, thank you. Please, hang out outside, Your Honor.
All right, hold on a second. Ma'am. Officer Martinez, you asked for a driver's license of Mr. Blandino,
Yes, sir.
and you did not receive a driver's license.
Correct.
You received some documents which he alleged was to be international driver's license.
He attempted to show me them. I did not grab them.
All right. Any follow-up based on those questions, Mr. Dickerson?
No, Your Honor.
So, yeah, if I could, Your Honor, I just want to make sure. So Mr. Blandino did offer you something, but you didn't take it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You want me to have her stick around?
Please.
All right. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and have a seat in the anteroom. During the testimony, please do not discuss your testimony with any of the witnesses at this time. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you're still in the subpoena. You're still-
Tug the full are the rules that if you spend a specific amount of time continuous in the state, you have to register your convenience and driver's license. Yes, Tug. In New Jersey, I think it's either 30 or 45 days. You have to get a New Jersey license and have it registered in the state within 45 days of moving.
To be recalled. Okay.
There are obvious exceptions to that. For example, if you are a college student, there might be an exception for you, or like an out-of-state college student, or if you are a military on duty on base, there is also an exception there. So
State.
David Shive. will be our next witness.
Shive.
Shive.
I'm sorry, Shive.
S-H-I-V-E.
Mr. Shive, Officer
Detective, sir.
Detective, come take the stand. Once on the stand, raise your right hand. Please, the clerk to be sworn.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please have a seat, state and spell your first and last name for the record.
David Shive. D-A-V-I-D-S-H-I-V-E.
All right. Stick.
Linux guy, they have lifetime plates, but I don't know if you. My presumption is that they're lifetime while you're in the state of Montana. Once you leave the state, you have to abide by the rules of the state.
You may proceed.
Thank you. What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a detective in our counterterrorism section.
And how long have you been a police officer?
11 years, sir.
Okay. Were you working in your capacity as a detective on September 16, 2022?
Yes, I was.
And sometime after 7:46 p.m., were you called out to a scene of a traffic stop somewhere in the area, generally of Bruce and Bonanza here in Las Vegas, County, Nevada?
Yes.
Was there a subject that had been stopped by patrol officers?
Yes.
And do you see that subject here in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
If you could please point to that individual, identify a piece of clothing that they're wearing.
Right here with the blue suit.
Okay, the record will reflect the identification of the defendant in Blandino.
And shall, you know, Mr. Gersten, if he's gonna stand up and point to himself, you can just stipulate that. If he's gonna. All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Detective, as part of your duties on scene, did you take part in an inventory of the vehicle that Mr. Blandino had been driving?
Yes, sir.
That was a white Dodge Ram truck?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to show you here. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
State's Exhibits 2, 3, and 4. Do you recognize what you're looking at here? Feel free to look through them.
Yes, sir.
And these particular documents that are depicted here in these exhibits, did you locate these?
Yes, sir.
Where did you locate them?
In the glove box of the vehicle.
Okay, of Mr. Blandino's white truck?
Yes.
Okay. Did you find any driver's license in Mr. Blandino's vehicle?
No, sir.
Did you find any Nevada registration for that vehicle inside the vehicle?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you then, with these impounded, these documents that are depicted here in these exhibits?
Yes, they were.
All right. And I assume before that you took them out of the vehicle?
Yes.
And did Mr. Blandino see these coming out of the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Did Mr. Blandino make any statements about these documents?
He was talking about the third one you showed me there. It looks like a Boulder City. Yeah, it's
This is
from
State's Exhibit 4?
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
from a vehicle stop.
Mr. Gersten wishes to review that.
Okay, and what was he saying about that?
That it was from a vehicle stop in Boulder City, and that they accepted those documents.
As a driver's
Oh no!
license? Here in State's Exhibit 3 and 2.
Oh no!
No, sir.
Okay.
Whoops.
All right, stand past the witness.
Cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective,
Yes.
did Mr. Blandino offer you those documents at any point during the stop?
No, sir.
Okay. And did you have an opportunity to observe the license plates on the rear of Mr. Blandino's vehicle?
I did not, sir.
Okay. Did you receive any information at any point from an official source, NLETS, anything like that, that the vehicle was unregistered?
No, sir.
Okay. And did you get any information from NLETS or any other source that that the Montana registration that it had was lapsed or not in place at any point?
No, sir.
So as far as you know, the vehicle was properly registered, correct? As far as you know?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Court's indulgence. Sorry, Detective, did you witness, your partner was Detective Meade, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you witness him confiscating the plates off the car?
I did. Yes, I did.
You did, okay, thank you. I have nothing further.
All right, redirect Mr. Dixon.
No, Your Honor.
Is the witness free to go?
He is.
Can I release him off his subpoena?
Yes, sir.
All right, Detective, please, your release off your subpoena, please do not discuss your testimony with any other witnesses at this time until the end of the trial. You understand?
Yes.
Thank you very much. You are released off of your subpoena. You may leave the courthouse if you so desire, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right? Mr. Dixon.
He's doing what he can.
Next witness will be Revalinda Hong.
Hong?
Hong, H-O-N-E.
Revalinda Hong.
Revalinda.
Revalinda. All right, ma'am, come take the stand. Once on the stand, remain standing.
Belinda.
It's the clerk to be sworn. You wanna come on up here.
What? Hello? What do you
Remain
want?
standing, raise your right hand, face the clerk to be sworn.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. I do. Please have a seat, state and spell your first and last name for the record.
Rebelinda Hong, Revelinda, Rebelinda, Hong, Hong.
All right, state and may proceed.
Thank you. What do you do for a living, ma'am?
I am a specialist from parole and probation.
Okay, for the Nevada Division of Parole and Probation?
That's correct.
And are you assigned to supervise Mr. Blandino?
Yes,
And in your capacity as a supervising officer, are you also the custodian of records for his file?
yes,
Okay. And in fact, you brought that with you today, is that correct?
that's correct.
We have a couple items from that file. I have in my hand State Proposed Exhibit 5 and 6, showing these to the defense counsel. May I approach, Your Honor? Thank you.
Ma'am, please. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. You
Sorry.
may use your
Sorry
glasses.
about that.
I was just gonna say, do not refer to any of the documents.
No, no.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you here State's Proposed Exhibit 5. Can you take a look at that?
You were so eager to come up here during the day when I was working.
Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this a document that is held within Mr. Blandino's file as part of the records of the Nevada Division of Parole and Probation?
yes,
Specifically, is it a pre-sentence investigation questionnaire?
yes,
And that would be information that was provided by Mr. Blandino
that's correct,
before he even got onto probation?
that's correct.
Okay. And that's kept by you?
Yes,
Okay. And this is a fair and accurate depiction of that?
yes,
This document would also contain the address that he reported at the time?
that's correct.
Okay. State's going to move for the admission of State's Proposed Exhibit 5.
Any objection to that?
Yes, sir, I'd like to take a look at it first, just
I'm assuming we're just looking for our residents on this.
well, that's the problem, Your Honor.
Because if that's the issue, I mean, obviously, there's some other things in there. There's been no Petrocelli hearing or anything like that to bring in prior bad acts. The court is not going to be relying upon any prior bad acts. If the purpose is to identify.
An address?
Hold on. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
If it's to identify where he's residing, I'm going to limit to that only.
I guess,
Other things
Scratches,
about
don't you?
priors,
He
criminal
loves
activity, or
scratches.
anything like that, I'm not going to rely on.
so, Your Honor, I guess the only issue I have is you're already using the word residency as opposed to, let's say, domicile or where he lives, because residency has a
I
legal
understand.
meaning as well, and I don't, that's where I'm kind
Ooh, going to the domicile versus residence. Soffsits love to use that distinction.
of like, this, and I'll show you, Your Honor, just to show you what my problem is. There's a form from the DMV that talks about a certification of DMV residency. This document is not accepted to prove that. So again, if you're just looking to see
I think
what,
it's more of argument that you would make
Okay.
as to that. What I'm saying is this,
So
I'm
it-
assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Dickerson, that you're attempting to show where Mr. Blandino resides
That's correct, Your Honor.
through this document. All other information regarding that, I'm going to exclude, because it's talking about other things that are not material to this case.
Thank you.
Prior bad acts that have not, there's been no Petrocelli hearing on this matter. I'm not gonna allow any of that in, I'm not gonna rely upon that. I will limit my scope as to that information only. While I may, if the document gets introduced, it will be introduced in its whole, the court is limiting what it's going to introduce.
I
Thank you, Your Honor. With those caveats, Your Honor, no objection.
All right.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to, what is the second page of this exhibit? Mind you that this is a double-sided exhibit.
Let me stop you there for a minute, I'm sorry. As to the admission with the limited purpose, your position on the admission of Exhibit 5. Because I think you moved to admit it, right?
Yeah, he moved to, and I said we have no objection with the caveats that you said. I mean, I have no problem.
For the record,
It's a statement that Mr. Blandino made, if that's what they're, for the limited purpose, and that is an issue in this matter, but all the other stuff in there has no purpose.
So,
And I would also request that the document itself be sealed in some regard because it does have a social security number, things like that.
Exhibit 5 will be admitted for the limited purpose of identifying residency or as domicile, if you will. That's the purpose to show. Whether it does it or not is something that the court may get consideration of. But we'll seal that, there'll be an internal seal of this court. So Exhibit 5 shall be admitted at this time.
Thank you. Ma'am, here, looking at the top of this, the section says defendant information. Does it indicate Kim Blandino's name there under name
Yes.
or next to name?
Yes.
Next to these words where it prompts the person who's filling it out to write something, it says residence address. And what does it say there?
Residence address C/O Las Vegas, Nevada 89101.
Okay, and this document also is dated when it was prepared? Looking to the first page of this document, does it have a date?
Yes.
And what's the date on that?
March 10, 2022.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Ma'am, Mr. Blandino is also required to check in regularly as part of his probation?
That's correct.
And so you're also the keeper of those records?
Yes.
Here I have State's Proposed Exhibit 6. Do you recognize this document?
Yes. I
Okay.
do.
And do you recognize it to be one of his monthly reportings?
Yes.
Okay. And this is specifically a monthly reporting from August 10th of 2022?
That's correct.
Okay. This would also include the address that Mr. Blandino reported on that date?
Yes.
Okay, State's going to move to the admission of State's Proposed Exhibit 6 for that purpose.
Can I see it, Your Honor? Sure.
Guys, remember to hit that like button if you want to see more photos of my
If you're willing, Your Honor, I would.
Or videos.
Submit as an exhibit with the same caveats as the last document.
I think, again, to determine residency, where he resides.
That's what I think, Your
That
Honor.
is the only purpose, unless you want to stipulate that is his statement there, and then he's required to provide that residence.
No, I'm not going to stipulate to that, yeah.
All right, I'm going to admit that.
All right.
With the limited, the court is only going to review it as his obligation to provide residence or where he resides.
All right, ma'am. There on the front page of this, and the state moves for that admission.
Exhibit 6 shall be admitted this time?
Thank you. Here on Exhibit 6, is this the monthly report from Mr. Blandino on August 10th, 2022?
That's correct.
And did Mr. Blandino report his address here?
That's correct.
Is it-
Yes.
Same address as Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, it's a mischaracterization.
I'm sorry,
Mischaracterization of what it says.
what does it say? Exhibit 6 has been admitted, so we can publish it. What does it say? As to the, because we're focusing only on his reporting as to where he.
Right, and it says your address,
Your
care of.
Okay, is that what it says?
Says C/O.
All right.
Is that correct, ma'am? Does it say C/?
I think the issue is I believe one of the charges is invalid registration. And so I think he's trying to demonstrate that his residence is in Nevada. And so therefore he needed to have a Nevada registration. But if he still if his place is still in Montana for all these years or however long, obviously that's invalid.
That's correct.
And when someone's on probation, do they have to report to you where they're actually living?
That's correct.
Where their residence is?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor.
Oh, wait, but this is a probation officer. Okay, I do want to note, guys, that Maik is definitely more of a kitty than than Winston is. And by that, I mean he definitely likes knocking things down and knocking things onto the floor. Archer and Winston really were never like that before. They never really, like, knock stuff off the table or dresser or whatnot. Maik, he's all about that.
As to
Where they're living is not necessarily their residence, Your Honor.
So is it okay for somebody that's on probation just to not report their residence?
It's
Again,
not
objection, Your Honor.
Well,
Residence has a
okay,
legal.
but here's the problem, is we're maybe conflating the two. Residence being, my residence could be my home. My residence could be, as we learned in law school, where I'm staying currently, or where my home state is, where I would register to vote. As a student, maybe in one area, but my residence to vote
Yep.
is different. I understand that.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
His residence, as Mr. Dickerson saying, is where he's living. Right? And it may be temporary, I get that.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. And also, Your Honor, I would be admitting this for another purpose. Here, under this report, is there a section that says vehicles driven?
Yes. that's
Okay.
correct.
And in this section, what does it list as that top vehicle?
Okay, top vehicle, year 1994, make Dodge, model Ram, color white, license number question mark, owner Kim, insured by N/A.
By who, the last one, insured by?
Owner, Kim, insured by N/A.
Okay.
All right, man, and then we go
So,
back.
I'm sorry, I apologize, Your Honor. Here's the problem. This is a document that is dated before the incident. So I don't know what that has to do, the relevance of that has to do with anything in September of 22. That document, if I remember correctly, was dated August of 22. So this is a document predating the incident.
The
Yes.
fact you can't see the relevance isn't something I need to respond to, right?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. What? My Dickerson, bro. Why? Has Dickerson always been this catty? Damn, man. Jesus.
That there was, he was residing or had a residence or a place where he lived at prior to September.
Right, but he's talking about a vehicle, which is the subject of what we're talking about.
Yes,
What does that have to do?
because he's being charged with resident failing to obtain a Nevada registration. And that's what he's attempting to show.
Again, Your Honor, I
Understand?
don't understand the relevance of, I understand the relevance of showing an address, but whether or not this vehicle is listed or not listed or whatnot on the document, again, because this is a predated document, the allegation is he violated on the September of 22.
Well, look, I understand if Dickerson has a short fuse with Blandino. I actually understand that. I don't know why he's being this catty with opposing counsel. That's my issue.
And this is
Predating that.
August, this is August.
Yeah.
The document says, this is where I live, this is the car I drive.
Mhm.
All right. September is a violation. All right. So he's trying to establish that there was a need to have it registered as a resident of
Okay, all right, I mean, again, I don't see it, but,
I mean, that's what I'm assuming we're going at.
That's right.
and you're using the word, Your Honor, you're assuming, so I'm just.
I'm letting him do his
Okay,
case,
okay,
you know, and I understand.
okay, thank you, Your Honor.
And then we go back to State's Exhibit 5, and I'm going to admit this for this purpose as well. Ma'am. Bear with me. This is going to be what is marked as page 16 of 14 on this exhibit. There's a section here, it says assets and liabilities. Is that right?
Right,
Under that, there's boxes to fill out for assets and a description of those assets. Is that right?
that's correct.
The first line here on this asset section for Mr. Blandino's pre-sentence investigation questionnaire, what does he list?
Mr. Blandino, listed asset, that's truck,
That's a Dodge truck?
yes. That's Ram 25, description, that's Ram 2500, 1992.
Is that Montana MT?
MT 15.2467E,
Okay. 15247E,
yes,
Montana. Okay, and again, that document was from March of 2022? Is that right?
that's correct.
Okay.
What
Ma'am,
was the date, March of 2023, what was the date on that?
March 10th? Here's those for you, Your Honor. Ma'am, has Mr. Blandino's address always been that same address? Since the Division of Parole and Probation has been supervising him?
That's correct.
And am I correct that they began supervising him around July of 2022?
That's correct.
All right. And so Mr. Blandino's never put in for a change of address?
No.
All right. Stay with that witness.
Cross-examination,
Thank you, Your Honor.
who said the documents?
Kim,
Before you quit, just.
course indulgence, please.
Sure.
I know what I'm supposed to do, stop.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Your Honor. Apologies. Ms. Hong.
Shut
Your
up.
connection with Mr. Blandino is.
He doesn't need your help, Blandino.
That's correct.
Okay, and otherwise you have no idea who he is or what he does or anything of that nature, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and as a probationer, he is required to remain in the state unless he applies for interstate compact, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so he's under, he's actually incarcerated, even though he's out, he's actually considered to be incarcerated because he's under the power of the state, correct?
Correct.
Objection. That calls for an improper legal conclusion.
She's answering the question.
I would ask it to be stricken.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm just trying to prove that Mr. Blandino can't go anywhere. I mean, he's required to be in the state, that doesn't make him a resident of the state, because he's required to be here. And I can give you the case law if you want, I'll give you a couple seconds.
I'll allow that, go ahead.
Thank you. So again, just so we're clear, Mr. Blandino cannot leave the state under probation unless he applies for interstate compact, correct?
That's not.
Or gets your permission.
Oh, with the permission,
Let's stop
yes.
there for a second, 'cause
We-
it's too broad of a
Yeah,
statement.
I apologize. I apologize. So he essentially, Mr. Blandino is stuck here unless he applies for interstate compact, you give him permission, things of that nature, right? He's not free to just leave the state at his own will, correct?
I have to make a correction on that. He doesn't have to apply for interstate compact to go to the other state. But he have to request for a travel permit
Right, travel permit.
from me.
Okay.
Yes.
So if he wanted to return to Arizona, he needs your permission, correct?
Correct,
If he wants to go back to Montana, he needs your permission, correct?
correct.
Okay. The documents that you read, where are they? Here. Let's see, if I can approach around. And these have been marked as
6?
5 and 6, Your Honor, State's Exhibits 5 and 6. So number 5, and you were asked to read, and it says residence address, correct?
Correct,
And you read CO, whatever the rest of the address is, correct?
correct,
Now, there's a CO in the front, and you understand that to be care of, correct?
correct,
Okay. And the same thing on Exhibit 6, where it says CO, correct?
correct,
Okay, and you understand again, the CO is to be care of, correct?
correct.
Okay. And then you talked about the actual, the truck, and for all intents and purposes, to your knowledge, that truck is registered in Montana, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Has Mr. Blandino ever told you that his permanent residence was here in Nevada?
Objection, hearsay.
Counsel, it's your client's statement.
Yes, Your Honor. State of mind for purposes of residency. And if Your Honor will just give me 1 second, I will give you the quote from the matter. And court's indulgence here. So basically, what is the meaning of a non-resident, Your Honor? And the Attorney General's opinion 265, which was actually admitted in 8/17/1938, said that the term non-resident is to be construed in the most generally accepted meaning, i.e. one whose residence within the state does not indicate permanency. So I'm going to the state of mind of Mr. Blandino as to whether or not he was a resident, that was his intention, or not. So I'm just asking if he has ever told.
I'm gonna give you a little leeway because the state has introduced some evidence to show that he said where he resided or where he lived.
Right.
And whether or not that's a residency or not, it's illegal.
Okay, I'll ask it this
So
way.
I'll give you a little leeway on that.
All right, I'll ask
He
it.
never said anything like that. And I'll allow the statement to be made because the statement of against interest was brought in. So to give context to that statement, I'm allowing you to explore a little further.
Thank you. I'll ask it this way, Ms. Hong. As far as you know, Mr. Blandino's address was care of 441 16th Street, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you have any information? That that was his permanent residence for purposes of residency?
Objection. This witness has testified about the information she has.
I'm just asking if there's anything more.
Yeah, but she may not understand. Again, we're conflating residency.
If you understand.
With the legal term of residence.
Right.
We all learned in law school, we all go to different law schools and they say, you're living here now, but you can go to another place because your residency is there. That being said.
Again,
So I'll allow it for that purpose.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking
If you
is.
said anything else. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, sir. All I'm asking you is, has there been any indication that Mr. Blandino made Nevada his permanent residence? Anything that you know?
No.
Okay, that's all I have.
All right.
Thank you, Your
You
Honor.
got it? Redirect, Mr. Dickerson.
Ma'am, probationers are required to report to you their residence, right?
Right.
And the residence that Mr. Blandino reported to you was in Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada, correct?
Again, Your Honor, mischaracterization, it's care of, it's not.
I understand. I've got all that information.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right?
And that's the only residence that he's ever reported living in.
That's correct.
Has he applied for interstate compact?
No,
So Mr. Blandino's never applied for interstate compact in any other state in the United States?
no,
Okay. Has he applied for a travel permit?
no.
Okay, so he has just stayed here and reported this as his address here in Las Vegas?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Follow based on that.
Just a couple.
Gotcha, bitch.
So is a probationer required to apply for interstate compact at any point?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. Are they required, if they're not going anywhere, are they required?
No,
Okay, and are they required to travel?
no,
Okay, so if Mr. Blandino was afraid to leave the state for fear of getting picked.
Objection, calls for speculation.
I think yours does too.
Well,
Afraid.
Withdrawn, Your Honor, withdrawn.
I think we've acknowledged that if he wants to leave, he's gotta get permission.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Mr. Dickerson was asking if he ever had before. I'm offering alternative reasons as to why he might not. I withdraw the question, Your Honor.
Alright.
Nothing further.
Mr. Dickerson, any follow-ups based on those questions? Mr. Dickerson?
Nope.
Thank you. So, how long have you been doing this job?
I think 2.5 years.
And have you dealt with interstate compact matters before?
Yes, actually, before this job, I was an interstate compact specialist.
Okay. And so when somebody gets put on probation in the state of Nevada, but they reside in another state in the United States, is that usually when they apply for interstate compact?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Blandino, again, never applied for interstate compact.
Never.
Just one quick follow-up, Your Honor.
Really?
Yes.
So.
Really?
One question, Your Honor. Just one question.
Go back and forth.
Fucking guy.
The court, you know,
I understand, Your Honor. I understand. Hassan, is Mr. Blandino in any way, shape, or form required to apply for interstate compact if he's not going anywhere?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Dickerson, and you obviously have the last word.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Is this witness free to go?
Yes.
Can I release her for subpoena?
Oh, finally.
Yes, thank you.
All right, ma'am, you're free to leave, your release off your subpoena. Please do not discuss your testimony with any other witnesses or anybody else at this time until after the conclusion of this trial. You understand?
I understand.
So if it gets continued for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, or you cannot discuss your testimony, you understand?
I understand.
We'll let you know, thank you. Date? Mr. Dickerson, or Mr. Gersten, 5 and 6?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I left them. I'll grab them.
Let's just do them all together.
We'll call Ramel Barba.
Barba?
Yep, thank you, Your Honor.
Ramel Barba.
Your Honor, my client needs
All
a...
right, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, State of Nevada versus Kim Dennis Blandino, 22 CR 041030. This continuation of the trial at this time.
Hey, I'll be right back. We're gonna have a brief recess. 1 second. Very brief. Have you heard of the High Elves? All right, we're back.
Go to the 5-minute break. That being said, state your next witness will be
Ramel Barba.
Ramel Barba, B-A-R-B-A.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come take the stand, what's on the stand, remain standing, raise your right hand, face the clerk as you sworn. I thought you were the attending officer.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Please have a seat. State and spell your first and last name for the record.
First name is Ramel, R-O-M-M-E-L. Last name is Barba, B-A-R-B-A.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Thank you. Sir, what do you do for a living?
I'm with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department as a corrections officer.
And are you assigned to the house arrest unit?
I was assigned to the house arrest unit back in 2019.
Okay. And did you supervise Kim Blandino while he was on house arrest?
Yes,
And am I correct that that was from approximately December 2021 until July of 2022?
yes,
And that it was during that time period that you were his supervising officer?
yes,
And during that time period, did you have the opportunity to actually go and visit Mr. Blandino where he was residing?
yes.
And where was that?
That was at,
Here in Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada?
yes,
Did Mr. Blandino ever request a move?
no,
Did he ever indicate to you that he needed to move out of state because that's where he was residing?
no.
Okay. And how many times did you visit him there at that address?
I want to say at least 3 to 4 times.
Okay, between those
Yeah.
dates?
During those dates.
Yes, we had to visit him every month. Back then, he was in a high-level EMP.
Okay. Did Mr. Blandino have a
High
lot of
level.
contact with you?
Via text messaging and phone calls.
Okay. Keeping you updated on things?
Yes.
Asking you questions?
Ask me questions, just basic stuff like if he can go here, because he was in high level, he needed to get approval to go somewhere.
Okay. Did he ever indicate to you that he needed to get approval to go out of state because that was his home?
No.
Okay, thank you. David Passways.
Cross-examination.
Thank you. Barbara?
Barba.
Barba,
Yes.
thank you, sorry. Officer Barba, you didn't have 24/7 surveillance over Mr. Blandino, did you?
Well, you could say yes and no because we were supervising him through Tyler supervision.
Okay, and so I guess what I'm saying is, did you have 24/7 supervision over Mr. Blandino?
No.
Okay, so you
No.
don't know where he was or what he was doing 24/7 during the time that you were responsible?
No.
Okay.
No.
And it's safe to say that you can't look inside Mr. Blandino's head to know what he's thinking, correct?
Right, I know, Sandy.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Follow us based on that.
Was Mr. Blandino wearing a GPS bracelet?
Yes, he was.
So you were getting constant 24/7
There we go.
on his location?
Yes.
There it is.
And, during that time, did you ever note that Mr. Blandino, between December 2021 and July 2022, had left the state?
No, he hasn't.
Okay, thank you.
Could you leave the state without asking for permission?
No, you can't.
Okay, thank you.
And you
Oh.
never asked to leave the state?
My fault. Let's repeat that question again. No, he cannot leave the state. He would have to ask permission.
And he never asked?
No, he hasn't.
Are you guys done?
That's sir.
Officer?
That's a better response right there. That's a much better response right there. You would have to ask for permission first before getting this going out of state. But he never asked for permission though. Leaving open the question that he doesn't have to ask permission.
From December 2021 to July.
In other words, the fact that he didn't ask for permission does not necessarily mean that he didn't actually go out of state.
2022, he was on high-level house arrest.
He was downgraded to medium. I want to say
He was on house arrest.
Yes, on house arrest.
You visited his residence, you said 3 to 4 times.
Yes.
And do you remember the address of the residence?
Yes, it was.
At that time, did you see a vehicle parked outside the house?
There's vehicles parked out there, but I don't know if it was his or not.
You never identified any vehicle that he had during those times?
No.
When's the last time you visited him between that time of December 2021 and July 2022? When's the last time, if you remember?
I want to say,
You don't know exactly.
don't know exactly, but the month would be March.
Okay. Any questions based on that, Mr. Dixon?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
State? All right, is witness free to go? Can I release him off his subpoena?
Yes, thank
All
you.
right, sir, you're released off your subpoena. Please do not please do not discuss your testimony with any other witnesses at this time until this trial is over. So you understand? Thank you very much for your time. State?
Thank you, Your Honor. That's going to conclude our witnesses for today.
All right. State has rested. There was some discussion at the bench. It's 1:45. You want to take a few minutes?
I I would request that we continue this to another day. I do have the grand jury at 1 o'clock today,
Okay,
and we didn't get started.
there was some discussion about this. I'm not living under a rock on this matter. I understand your client may be testifying,
I think that's a very fair bet, Your Honor.
And so,
However, Your Honor.
Oh my God. Well, of course, Blandino is going to testify. That's going to be fun on the bun.
yes.
Just you know, and again, it's your call. The state is rested. This is a time when I would probably be bringing a motion to dismiss this case.
I'm gonna review some other stuff before I do that.
Okay, so I don't know if you want me to make it now or wait or what, you know, I serve at the pleasure of the court, Your Honor, so.
I understand where you're going. I think probably, given the time frame on this being one of the longest traffic trials I've ever seen.
I know, right? Shut up! Oh, stop looking at the camera, you dingus. Yeah, he really is eating up this attention.
You said you
No! Oh God, no! No! Pause.
Okay.
Ugh.
It's a rebuttal case.
Sure.
All right. And as the state has rested, defense is going to proceed, and I'm assuming your client may be testifying and may or may not. For him, he has that right to make the decision. Mr. Dixon has a grand jury indictment.
I do, and I'm supposed to be starting a murder and kidnapping trial on the 12th.
Told you we'd get started. Hoping to be finished.
Right.
But
My apologies, Your Honor.
no, it's not. Listen, here's all the witnesses that come, we hear. All the evidence that's to be presented, we hear. That being said, today is the 1st. You want to kick it up? It's 22nd of February? No.
Can we do the next week?
Which is that? The 8th
The,
or the 15th? 8th, I've got matters going on.
the week after that.
15th?
So February 26th, that week. The 26th, actually.
You want to put it on the 27th?
Yes, I can do the 27th.
Ms. Gersten?
27th, Your Honor?
Yes. That is for your case in chief.
I have to be in Boulder City at 3:30, so.
Ironic.
I'll hopefully be done by then.
I hope so too.
Traffic
So,
matter.
I understand, Your Honor.
All right?
So 2:27 at what time, Your Honor?
2:27. You know how this goes. We have cases flowing in and out of here all morning long. We probably won't be started until probably 10:30, if that. All right?
Yeah, would you?
Yeah, oh no. I paused at the best part. The patch says he is risen on the lower back.
Let me. The judge is talking. I'm sorry, Your Honor. My client is asking to. What is it you want me to ask him?
Permission, we need to stay here, so.
I don't know if he's under probation or any
If I get clearance from you, I'll ask probation, Judge.
He's not under any sort of.
I've got no restrictions on him. He's OR'd on this matter. There are very little restrictions on him. If he's got restrictions, then.
I'm sorry, I thought that
Whatever other court
was
has
additional,
that.
I couldn't leave the state. I'm sorry, just wanted clarification.
22nd.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's figure,
27th.
27, let's figure around 10:30. Don't
Okay.
come here at 9:30,
10.
because regardless, we're gonna be cleaning up cases.
Okay, I'll put it on for my calendar for 10:30 then.
All right, we're just assuming that time, because I'm gonna be cleaning up cases anyways.
Thank
All
you,
right?
Your Honor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, look, even Yoda and furries are interested in the goings-on of Nevada courts, okay? We don't kink shame on this channel. Well, continue to the 22nd. That should be fun. Can't wait. I ordered a pizza because that's usually what happens on a Friday night. But it's not coming in until 7:30. But I think I will end it here to keep the live stream nice, clean, and concise. But I will be moving to my gaming channel, where I'll be going to Alan Wake 2. I stopped right at the musical level. So if you guys don't know about Alan Wake 2, it's a survival horror game I've been playing. You might have seen it on this channel. And there's one level, one board that it turns into a live action musical. It's a survival horror game, but it turns into a musical for this level and this level alone. It's completely hilarious. It's completely wild. I think some of you guys might be interested in it. So I'll be on there in about 5 to 10 minutes. So check me out there. But if I don't see you, you guys have a good night. Take care. Adios. Have a good one.